Hey guys, Roman Reaper here. So I just got done watching The Kitchen on Netflix. This is one that I was kind of looking forward to seeing. This is a piece of British social realist sci-fi, and admittedly small subgenre, but one that is no less ripe with thematic potential, especially in regards to the really timely and resonant social commentary you can get out of the sci-fi setting. But let's be honest, what really attracted me to the film was the fact that this is the feature directing debut of Daniel Kaluuya. Very good actor, always gives great performances, whether it be for the likes of Jordan Peele, Ryan Coogler, or hell, even the Spider-Verse crew. So, yeah, I was really looking forward to seeing if his talents in front of the camera would translate behind the camera. But is this a good feature directing debut for Kaluuya? Let's find out. So the film follows Isaac, aka Izzy, a man who works at a funeral home that specializes in using people's bodies to plant trees when they die. And when he's not at work, he lives in a grimy, gritty estate known as the Kitchen, overseen by radio presenter Lord Kitchener. Isaac has plans to move out of the kitchen and have a better life for himself in a Buena Vida apartment. Plans which begin to get a little complicated when outside the funeral home he bumps into Benji, a youngster whose mum has just died, and Izzy soon takes Benji in. So yeah, obviously this is not a solo directing feature for Kaluuya. This is co-directed by Kibwe Tavares. And look, off the back of this film, I think the directing futures that these two have is are very bright. I really liked this. So yeah, it's very well directed by Kaluuya and Tavares, in which they strikingly realize this very gritty kind of world. There's really gritty, future production design with some like neon lights and signs and stuff, but also it's also quite grimy because it is London. And obviously both their areas of expertise kind of translate really well, for Kaluuya, whether it be, the sort of quite grounded emotion, and for Tavares, his background in architecture translates really well for this quite gritty future production design. It's obviously a very striking world that is, one that you're incredibly invested in and is incredibly compelling. And it's this world that is used as a springboard for some very interesting thematic explorations, including the contrast between, the quite grimy, gritty council flats estates versus, these swanky upper end apartments. Obviously, this is a very strong dramatic and thematic through line that the film has, Obviously, the kitchen is quite grimy and gritty, but it's also where a lot of life takes place. There's a bustling market, neon lit, and everybody's having a good time. It's a place that people may not like the area in which they live, but they love their home and will fight for it. Versus, these like Buena Vida, upper end swanky apartments, which particularly the one Izzy wants to move into, which is very sleek and clean. It doesn't have a window, but rather a an LED screen that has like these quite bright and vibrant views of the city, and also an AI voice that greets him good morning. It's a sleek, clean, fancy apartment, but also kind of soulless at the same time, and that contrast is explored wonderfully in the film. There's also like some stuff about police state, surveillance state, particularly in regards to these, quite brutal police riots that are, quite regular intervals in the kitchen. It's a very interesting thematic piece, and obviously combined with, the gritty world building and production design, it makes for a very strikingly realized, compelling world. And also, it's combined with a strong atmospheric score from musician Labyrinth. So it's a world that is fully realized and incredibly compelling, but really none of that would be complete without a great set of performances. Obviously, we have Kane Robinson as Izzy, a very strong, like sort of soulful turn, a man who obviously wants a better life for himself, but can't really see that actually he kind of has everything he wants right in front of him in the kitchen. And he is complemented really nicely in a wonderful little dynamic with Judea Bannerman as Benji. It's a wonderful pairing, Obviously, as he takes Benji under his wing, as he has, no home. And, Benji's a very likable character, He has some little moments of humor with Izzy, but also is, has, kind of a bit of tragedy to him, as, he has no parents. In fact, there's a scene early on where he opens a birthday present from his late mom, but can't really enjoy the moment because there's no one there to share it with. And it's a very interesting dynamic as Izzy becomes the father figure that Benji never had, as he tries to stop him from falling under a life of crime. They're a great pairing, both great performances, and I really enjoyed seeing their characters evolve. And we also have, surprisingly, footballer Ian Wright as Lord Kitchener, the radio presenter that sort of oversees the kitchen. A sort of very charismatic and, presence, as his voice sort of travels over the area. He's very good. It's a small role, but he gives it big. But admittedly, it's not fully as engaging as its as its world and characters. At points, the pacing can be a bit uneven. Like some scenes are kind of slow and uninteresting, but for every slow scene that kind of plods on, there's an emotional scene that is very effectively realized and is immensely compelling. Whether it be the brutal intensity of these police raids or a scene in the funeral home with all the guests in attendance unified in song, or whether it be a quietly emotional ending scene, or even a scene early on in a roller rink that has some little moments of humor to it. It's a very strong, heartfelt film, and as it that is very compelling, especially with its characters giving it this real beating heart. And really, my only other niggle with the film is there is a twist that you will kind of see coming right from a scene very early on. Don't get me wrong, it does lead to a very strong emotional payoff, but yeah, definitely very early on, I sort of clocked the reveal. But overall, I really liked this. I think definitely this is a very strong directing debut for Daniel Kaluuya and Kibwe Tavares. And I think the future is bright for these two, whatever they want to do, whether it be going solo on their own features or another team up, which I would not be opposed to. But like obviously Daniel Kaluuya has proven himself in front of the camera, and now he has proven himself behind it. Definitely give this a watch. It's a very interesting, very compelling film that explores some very timely and relevant themes. Do not let this get buried under the Netflix algorithm. Please do give this a watch. Overall, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So you let me know down in the comments, have you seen The Kitchen? What did you think of it? Do you think this is a good debut for Kaluuya? And Would you like to see him direct some more films? Let me know all that down in the comments. Don't forget to leave thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.